Okay, so we're going to start our truck. We're going to cover our brake. We're going to make sure that we are in neutral. All right, so always double check that you're in neutral if you have a stick shift truck. Foot's on the clutch. We're going to do a safe start. So, covering the brake pedal, foot's on the clutch pedal. We're going to start our truck. All right, and then we're going to very slowly keep our brake covered, and nice and slow with the tip of our toe, we're going to let our clutch out. So we don't want our truck to jump forward. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the engine RPM up because we don't drive down the road at an idle. And all we're looking for at this point is 85 to 145 seconds or less, checking the rate of air pressure buildup. The purpose of this test is you're driving down the road and obviously not at an idle. You're on the brake, you're off the brake. You want to make sure that the supply you're putting on the air supply tanks is going to be able to replenish through the air compressor. So the governor must cycle the air compressor on and off, but the air compressor also has to build up at a certain rate, and that rate is 85 to 100, and we expect it to be in 45 seconds or less. If you have a pre-1975 vehicle and it's a single system, it could take up to 3 minutes and still be safe. So let's bring our engine up. We're going to be around 1,000 RPM. And we're just going to watch those gauges, 85 to 100, 45 seconds or less. Some people like to use their cruise control to set this. I'm just using my foot. And there we are. We're in range. The next test that we would do, and I'm going to leave it at this idle, is check that the governor cuts the air compressor out approximately 125. Now we know it cut the air compressor in when it dropped below 100 because we're watching the gauges climb, which means the air compressor is in fact doing its job and it's turned on. So now we're just going to wait till we hear the air dryer purge. That's called a purge of the air dryer. It works with the governor and the air compressor. The air compressor will be shut off at that point. And again, 125 is an approximate number. It could shut off a little bit higher, a little bit lower. There we go. And you'll notice that the gauges stop moving. So we have our primary and we have our secondary gauge. All right.